5 main components of PLC. 5 main components that make up a PLC. All these components must be present to be able to run a PLC normally. The main components of a PLC are as follows. 1. CPU unit, central processing unit. 2. Memory unit. 3. Power supply unit. 4. Programmer unit. 5. Input-output unit. 1. CPU unit, central processing unit, is the part that serves as the brain for the system. The CPU contains a microprocessor that interprets the input signals and carries out control actions according to the stored program, then communicates the decisions it makes as control signals to the output interface. Scans of the program generally take 70 milliseconds, but it depends on the length of the program and the level of complexity. 2. Memory unit. The memory inside the PLC is used to store data and programs. Physically, this memory is in the form of a chip and for safety, a backup battery is installed on the PLC. This memory unit itself can be divided into 2 types, namely, volatile memory, is a memory that if the voltage source is removed then the stored data will be lost. Therefore, this type of memory is not a permanent storage medium. For storing data and programs for a longer period of time, this memory must be powered continuously. This is usually done by using the battery. There are several types of volatile memory, namely RAM, random access memory, SRAM, static RAM, and DRAM, dynamics RAM. Non-volatile memory is the opposite of volatile memory, which is a memory that even though the voltage source is removed, the stored data will not be lost. One type of this memory is ROM, read-only memory. This type of memory can only be read-only and cannot be added or changed. The contents of the ROM comes from the manufacturer in the form of an operating system and consists of the main programs required by the PLC system. To change the contents of the ROM, a memory type is needed, EPROM, erasable programmable ROM, which can be erased by exposing the chip to concentrated ultraviolet light. 3. Power supply unit. The power supply unit or power supply unit is required to convert the AC input voltage, 220 volt approximately 50 Hz, or DC 24 volt source into the low voltage 5 volt DC required by the processor and circuits in the input-output interface. Failure to comply with the voltage supplied by the power supply can cause the PLC to fail. For this reason, it is necessary to have a backup battery with the aim that when voltage equals dropping, the data in the memory is not lost. 4. Programmer unit. The programmer component is a tool used to communicate with the PLC. Programmers have several functions, namely, run, to control a process when the program is active, off, to turn off the PLC so that the program is not executed, monitor, to determine the state of a process that occurs in the PLC. Program states a situation where the programmer monitor is used to create a program. 5. Input-output unit. The input-output unit provides an interface that connects the system with the outside world, enabling connections between input devices, such as sensors, and output devices, such as motors and solenoids, through input-output channels. Similarly, via the input-output unit, programs are entered from the program panel. Each input-output point has a unique address that the CPU can use.